You are now listening to the Sin and Twin podcast.
Welcome back to the Sin and Twin podcast. It's your girl Sin, and I am not here with my twin today. As we all know, he's a busy dude, so I have slightly funnier company today.
Whoa.
So today, I'm throwing shots immediately.
Whoa.
This is what we do when Jay's not here.
Now the pressure's on for us.
Tell a joke, man.
I am joined today by Liam Dalton and Peter Stewart, both very hilarious comedians right out of New York City.
Well, thank you for having me, Cynthia.
Thank you for coming on, and that's a wrap. Thanks for joining us.
That was fun.
Pleasure to
That was
be
a lot
here.
easier than you said it was going to be.
There's so many things that I want to talk to you guys about, but first, let's just get right into comedy, right? Can we?
I told you I didn't want to talk about that.
Well, you know, I'm like Charlemagne. They tell me what not to talk about, and I'm going to do it anyway. You know what
I
I mean?
always view you as Charlemagne.
I get that a lot.
Whenever your name in my phone is Cynthia the God.
It as well, goddess.
No,
but yes,
God.
I'll take it.
I'm progressive.
Yeah. No, I
I
appreciate
think
that.
women are men. Okay.
Wow, we're getting there quicker than I thought. Thanks, Liam.
Peter, what's your take on it?
Who is Charlemagne?
He's from Canada.
Yeah. Oh well, we'll unpack that later. It's a great time. It's a great time for Canada right now, isn't it?
I guess. What do you mean? I don't spend a lot of time there, so I think they're doing well. But,
So there's a man named Aubrey Graham.
right. So
Okay.
I've heard. Yes. He
Sorry,
goes to a lot of basketball games.
that's how he knows
My
him.
dad has some strong opinions about that. But I won't get into that now.
All right, so let's get into comedy really quick. There is a known thing with comedians, and I'm just going to throw it out there.
Oh.
We're troubled people.
Oh.
Oh.
Maybe not necessarily, but I'm curious what your takes are on that.
Probably mostly yes, I would say.
This is actually a therapy session.
Thank
Your mom
you.
called me.
Thanks. Yeah. My mom's Irish. She doesn't believe in therapy.
Oh, well, yeah.
My therapy. I ran.
That's
into
what
my
Puerto
therapist.
Ricans and Irish people have in common.
That's true.
Yes.
Yeah, we're both very unwell.
Yeah.
As you can see, 50% of comedians are trouble.
I asked that question to ask, how did you guys start? Like, what made you want to start in comedy?
I do think that it's definitely a mechanism for a lot of people.
Right.
I think I remember the moment when I was growing up when I realized that you could get attention for being funny. I remember in first grade.
Yep.
When I was in kindergarten, I was a very serious, sophisticated fellow.
Sophisticated, man.
Yes, I really was. I remember my mindset as a kindergartner where I was like, these kids are such idiots. I'm the only serious one here. I was like, they can't even put their blocks in the right place. What a fool. And then I remember,
grow up.
I was like, come on, get a job, young man. Do you even have a 401k? And then I remember in first grade, this kid I was friends with, I remember him getting attention for just being silly and everyone was laughing. And I was like, that's all you got to do. I
Right.
remember being like, all right, I could do that. And then from the rest of my life, that was my mechanism on getting attention. Like coming from like a big family, it was just like, oh, that's how you get attention, whatever.
Yeah.
So I do think there's a mechanism like that. And then, so that was quote unquote natural for me. And then, yeah, then I found it years later. I was like, oh, this actually could be a thing that you do versus like people just being, oh yeah, he's a comedian, whatever, class clown, whatever. I was like, oh, maybe I can use this somehow.
Right.
And if that's all I want to do anyway is make people laugh, maybe like that's what it came down to, me just wanting to make people laugh and also caring that people thought I was funny. And I was like, oh, well, comedians only view other comedians as funny. They don't care if non-comedians are funny. I want to be a comedian. I need people to know that I'm funny.
Right.
I'm very needy.
Yeah.
I'm desperate.
Well.
Peter?
Yeah. There's like, I think there's definitely got to be like a little bit of arrogance to it, right? Because when you first start, you have to be like, I'm so funny, the world needs to hear what I have to say. And then you quickly learn that.
Thank you for saying that, though.
But yeah, like but it's definitely, I mean, I always say like comedy is not like other pursuits. Like if you get really good at golf, you don't have to golf against mentally ill people anymore, right? But like comedy the whole way up, there's like, funniest person in the world could be a lunatic or they could be like a lawyer, and it's like the perfect cross section of society.
Yeah, I love that you mentioned that, though, that there is that need for arrogance, because I do feel like that's something a lot of people don't admit, right?
Yeah.
It's like, what? No, I mean, I just do it because I love comedy. It's like, no, you know you're funny.
Yeah.
And you want people to know you're funny and want to put it out there.
Yeah.
You know?
I think for me, and I think for a lot of people, I think it's like 50-50 of this like delusional, egotistical confidence of like people need to know I should be up there. And then the other 50% is like, why am I doing this? I don't deserve to even be a person.
Well, like he said, it's like the other half of it is like you realize very quickly, I'm not that funny. Like, I got to step this up, right?
Yeah.
That is the first lesson.
Yeah.
The faster you learn that lesson, the further you will go.
Right.
But it took me about 6 months to learn it.
Really?
Yeah, it takes long.
You just found out today, actually.
Yeah, it was a very upsetting car ride on the way here. So I'm not sure what jokes I'm going to do at the show tonight.
Well, I'd say that it takes a very specific type of person to be a stand-up, especially because it's like, it's torturous. Right? Like
Yeah.
I'm always watching you guys and what you have to go through pre-show, during show, after show, especially if it wasn't how you were hoping it was going to go. And then you guys never think you did well, even though I'm in the crowd always laughing my ass off. It's torturous.
Yeah, but you're a paid actor.
They don't know that. And that's the thing is that, like, so for me with comedy, it was like, I was the youngest of 4, but grew up in a house with 6 kids. And then, constant struggles, right? So for me, it was constantly trying to ease the tension, break the tension in the room. I'm like, it's poster board cliche person that wants to get into comedy because I just spent my entire childhood just trying to, hey guys, you know what I mean? Like, but look what I can do. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That was it for me. And then I still find myself as an adult doing the same thing. Anytime that there's tension, I'm like, let's break it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's definitely, we're different.
Yeah.
I say we, I'm not doing stand-up. I say that all the time on the podcast. Like, I'm currently not doing stand-up. But
put a disclaimer up.
Disclaimer.
No, but
being truthful. I stopped. I do this now.
Well, are you gonna do it again?
Yeah, probably.
By the time this airs, she will have gone up on stage.
You know what it is? I have so much more fun hosting than doing like a full set. You know what I mean? I have so much, and I just feel like I'm better on the fly. I'm better with what's in front of me, and I just have so much fun with that. I can write and I have the jokes, but for me, it's just not as fun.
It's not what excites you.
It's not. Yeah, it's not.
I think that's important too.
Right. And like my thing is people. Like you guys do crowd work, I'm sure. I mean, I see you do crowd work. Are you more of a crowd work comedian or not so much?
I mean, I do host lots of shows, so I do a lot of crowd work there. In my actual act, I tend to be more like set up punchline.
Right.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like I have so much more fun with the crowd work.
Yeah.
So much more fun with like just messing with people and like just keeping the energy up.
Yeah.
That's just more my bag,
Yeah.
I don't mind doing sets, and it just I hate writing. And like sticking with it, trying to perfect it. I'm like, I guess I'm not committed.
I think that's more torturous is the writing jokes and doing straight sets.
Right.
Because that, if you're riffing and you're doing crowd work, if it doesn't work, it's like, all right, well, it was in the moment, it was riffing, they're not with it, whatever. But when you're doing a joke that has worked before and you're doing the same exact joke that's not working now, that's what really like mine F's you.
You can say it. You can say it. Jay drops all kinds of bombs on this podcast.
Okay, sorry. That's what really mine finugles you. We're in her house. I'm respecting the home.
We are doing things a little bit differently today. We are not in the studio because I want to be respectful of their time. They came from the city and we just did what we had to do to make it work, and that's what we do here. So
I told Peter
this is my dining room.
It makes me feel more at home.
I mean, well, that's the thing. Liam, you're like family. Peter, now you are too. So
whether you like it or not.
Yeah, you're trapped here, and I'm going to feed you empanadas until you can't take it
very
anymore.
Good empanadas. Just for the record, they're very good empanadas.
Thank you. Everybody go check out Don Hugo's in Newburgh, New York, okay?
Whoa. Are they paying us?
That's my family. That's my in-laws.
Don't do business with family.
I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
We'll be right back.
I get free food, though. So,
oh, you do?
I do.
Oh, nice.
So I'd like to keep that relationship going.
And I'm family now, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's another thing.
So I could show up there
yeah.
And ask to borrow money?
I mean, if that's what'll get you guys to come back up here, absolutely.
Oh, hell yeah.
We can work something out. We can work something out. You guys aren't threatening looking.
Thanks.
It's in the hood.
What the hell is that supposed to be?
You know that really big backpack? That's his.
Okay, anyway, so
stop yelling at me.
At what I'm gonna have a complex with how much you accuse me of being aggressive and yelling at you. Okay, this is my natural volume. Now I sound like my mom. It just never ends. It just never ends.
This is my natural volume. Inside speaking voice.
All right. So
I told Peter I'm gonna start doing this bit where I go to someone's house and I always bring a framed picture of me and I like hang it up.
I would love that.
Sign it to my #1 fan.
So I didn't want to say this too early in the podcast, but there is already a room that's just filled with framed pictures of you here. So I may have beat you to the punch.
Different from the one in Peter's house?
Mine
possibly.
is much more upsetting.
His is on a board with markings and dates.
You know how like
The
cops
pins?
sometimes will have, except it's all just Liam, and I'm like, what's the connection?
He's like, he spent $10 on another latte? What is going on?
Mine are mostly nudes that I didn't ask for, but I figured they needed a place.
Tasteful nudes or not?
I mean, depends on who you
Oh,
ask.
okay. Yeah,
What is a tasteful nude?
I'll show you later.
We're in the woman's home, man.
Yeah, that was all part of the plan.
Oh, I'm going to die tonight.
All right. So, at what age did you get into comedy, or did you go straight to comedy? Did you venture into any other avenues?
Yeah, so
comedy?
me and Peter were also in a hip hop group. Not L Squad Forever, streaming now.
Remarkably unsuccessful. Like, you couldn't have picked a less successful hip hop group.
No, so you know, the fans at home know this. Fans in studio audience know this. You're all familiar with my rap career.
What?
This is my
Yeah, you know this.
favorite
Do I really?
topic.
Yeah.
My favorite topic.
I was a
ever.
rapper. You can't tell by my swag.
No, I cannot. No.
They were so quiet until I said swag, and they're like,
I think it was when you said rapper that they just lost it. But I will have you all know that Liam was a successful rapper.
not successful is a strong
It depends
word.
on how you measure it. I personally,
If I didn't get shot.
no, that actually takes you down a couple notches. Getting shot is like the #1 way to get to the top.
All right.
No, but
You gotta edit
Liam
that out.
had a rap career by the name of
By Rusty Gray.
Rusty Gray. Peter, did
wait.
you not know
I
this?
did not.
I've told him about this, but he drinks a lot. But
That is true. You probably
wait,
told
speaking
me
of Rusty Gray, you laughing at that name? One time I had a guy, a promoter running a show, who accidentally wrote Rusty Greg. I just wrote it. Yeah, that was,
That has a different feel to it altogether.
no, it was
Rusty
very-
Greg.
yeah, Rusty Greg.
Okay.
That sounds like your weird uncle at the barbecue. Like Rusty Greg hasn't gotten up.
Ew. Or won't stop getting up. That's another issue altogether.
We'll be right back.
So Liam, I'm not even kidding. Liam was a rapper.
Yeah.
No longer.
Yeah. Okay. So that's also in my journey. You play the sad music.
Okay. Yeah, I got it.
In my journey, I was pursuing. I was just a young boy from Queens, New York. I was pursuing the career of hip hop, and I was playing these shows. So I would do music videos, but I would write sketches for the videos. But I caught myself just making songs to then write the sketches and act in the sketches.
Right.
And I was like, oh, I'm doing this backwards.
Well,
And then I would do shows, and I would be like, and people would be like, oh, that was so funny in between this song when you said that. I'm like, well, what about these bars though? And they're like, oh, you're so funny, man. You're funny. I'm like, yeah, but like lyrically though. And they're like, yeah, you made me laugh for sure. And I'm like, okay.
I got to tell you, when I first learned that Liam did his rapping thing, because he very much kept it from me, which I was very surprised about.
I don't know if I
but
kept
it's
it from you.
fine.
Just you never asked.
Would you have asked him if he rapped at one point in time?
That's usually like first question. It's like
That makes
address,
sense.
name, former rap name.
Got it. Okay. Now I know for future reference. But I did check out your music. I did. I listened to a few
Is this
Rusty
a
Gray
setup?
songs. It was so good, Liam. No, for real. It was really good. And then you had a couple of pretty dope features on your music too. I'm so mad Jay's not here for this conversation.
Jake, get out here.
Here he comes. Bring him in. You had a few decent, great features on a couple of songs if you're into hip hop the way that Jay and I are into hip hop.
Oh, nice. Thanks.
So yes. Why? Well, what I always say with Jay is that I feel like comedy and hip hop make so much sense, right? Because hip hop is punchline after punchline.
Mhm.
So it makes so much sense that like in doing that, you realize like I'm hilarious.
You make me sound very arrogant
No,
because I am.
I know you
And
really
you're a
well. For
good
the record,
journalist.
the most humble person that I know won't even give himself credit for being
I'm
funny.
the most humble person of all time.
Great guy.
No one's more humble than me. No, I agree.
I was wondering how far into the episode we were going to get Trump, so I'm so happy that we got him. He's a good kid. Good
Great
kid.
guy. He's coming back. But
Stop it.
probably is though. But Peter didn't vote for him because he's Canadian. But he wanted to.
Yeah.
As you were saying.
Getting back to your rap career.
No, but you're right. I do agree. Like, jokes aside, I do agree that hip hop and comedy, there's a lot in common. Like you said, setup, punch, wordplay.
Right.
Like, there is a lot of that.
Yes.
And then also, I think it did help me.
I'm sorry. It's just so typical. Go on.
No, I love this. This is where I'm most comfortable
Okay, great.
in terrible situations. No, I think it did actually. It helped me because I was already comfortable on stage by the time I started comedy. So I do think it helped me. But I definitely realized like, oh yeah, this is not for me. I love writing, but that's not really natural for me. I was like, okay, this is natural for me, and then somehow it led me to where I am. Like,
Do
to
you miss
find
it?
comedy. No, I think it's fun to do. I want to blend the comedy and the music eventually, maybe, but
I would love to see that happen.
I don't really want to do like serious stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's not as fun. I liked it, but I love comedy. And,
Okay.
Yeah.
Peter, did you have a rap career as well? Or?
I did not.
Okay.
And if
Why?
I did, I would never ever admit to it. No.
Really?
No,
Just tell her.
no rap career. No,
Come on.
no, it's not good for anyone.
All right, just give her the name. You can't find it anymore, but give her the name.
My rap name.
Yeah.
I did have a stage name when I started.
Oh, that is true. This is actually true.
Go on.
For comedy, but yeah.
I did. So it was a stage name for comedy. So first time I did comedy was like 2011. So I was still in college, and my stage name was Adolf Lincoln. And it got old pretty quick. So, but yes, that is true.
Go on.
And I called the
I need
place in
elaboration.
Toronto where you would do the open mic, and they didn't want to put me on.
Why?
because They thought I was insane, which of course was a reasonable thing to do. But yeah.
Can I ask
So that was-
where Adolf Lincoln, like how that was birthed?
Well, so I don't know how much you know about history, but
Not much.
Abraham Lincoln, famously great man, Adolf Hitler, famously awful man, and I was like, what would just be a beautiful connection to just put those together. So yeah.
I feel like I just learned so much about you.
Really? I feel like I have no idea who he is now.
This may surprise you to learn, but then I did not do comedy again for several years.
Really?
No, I mean, I think I did it like 3 times in like 2010, 2011, 2012, and then I didn't start for real until like 2017. And by
Okay.
then I had decided that I should probably just use my real name.
Okay. It's a solid stock name that you have.
Yeah, it's like the definition of like just a plain white name, which is kind of good in this industry.
Do you ever miss Adolf Lincoln?
I mean, I missed who he was.
How'd you ask that with a straight face?
The character that I was, but
Yeah.
he definitely.
Was it like a persona?
It was not supposed to be a persona. I just wasn't a very good comic yet, so I
Okay.
definitely had like serial killer vibes.
Really?
It just was kind of I was unlike Liam, so I was definitely a writer first, and then like had to get better performing. So
Okay.
I just was like not good on stage yet. So
Interesting. Did you ever have a comedy name other than Liam Dalton?
This is gonna be embarrassing.
Oh.
Wait, should I tell him?
yeah, definitely.
Okay, all right. So
Is this real? I never know when you're doing a bit.
no, so I was Barack Mussolini.
I totally stopped. I thought it was derivative.
Oh my gosh, that is so great. What would you guys say is the most nerve-wracking thing about doing stand-up? If you could even pinpoint it, because I know that there's a ton of factors.
I guess just unpredictable. How unpredictable it is makes it nerve-wracking and exciting at the same time.
Right.
It's like that's why I love it and that's why I hate it at the same time.
I would say like auditions are really tough because like you'll have good sets and bad sets, and you get one like pulling out of a hat, and you hope that it's a good one.
Right.
Sometimes it isn't.
That's a good point. Trying to get a tape. Like a lot of times, if you want to get booked somewhere or get in and with something, you need like a 5 minute tape. When you're doing a set, knowing that you're taping and trying to get a tape, that's the worst ever for me. Anyway, I think a lot of people agree.
Yeah, and like even if you do get a good tape, like someone will do something stupid and knock over the camera, or like your friend will be in the audience and think he's doing you a favor by laughing really hard, and
Right.
it's just like
It ruins
extremely
it.
suspicious.
I'm that person.
Yeah. So
I
you have to,
ruined
like,
all of Liam's videos.
there's definitely a rule that's like whenever you have a great set, that will be the one you didn't tape. Like for whatever
Yeah.
reason, you're just like, I'm not going to tape tonight, and that's when.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, when you're trying to get a tape, then you are sticking so much to your script that you're not, or for me anyway, I'm never as present or like in the room,
Right.
and that's not good for stand up. So that's what I hate about.
That makes sense. In doing comedy, is there anything that has happened that you are most proud of?
Gross.
Even if it's a great set, because that's a big thing to be proud of too.
I don't know.
Hey guys, so upon reflection, Liam realized that he did have some things to be proud of. So I'm just going to stick that right in here real quick.
Okay, sorry about that. I performed on Burt Kreischer's Fully Loaded cruise, and that was really fun. That was a very proud moment for me. I got to open for Mark Normand on one of the shows. That was a fun time. I feel good about that. I also got to perform on the Impractical Jokers cruise, and that was a lot of fun, and I'm proud of that as well. I performed at the Netflix is a Joke Festival, Moon Tower Comedy Festival, and I did Cypher Sounds and Will Sylvance's show at the Comedy Cellar quite a few times, and I'm proud of that as well. Sorry, my therapist is telling me to accept the good things more and be more positive and proud of what I have accomplished. Thank you.
I mean, it's nice to get passed at comedy clubs because that's like, it means they like what you're doing.
Yeah.
Peter's passed at the comic strip.
So real quick, I'm going to celebrate that. But for those who don't know what that means.
Oh, yeah.
So that basically means, so you have to audition, and then when you get, when the booker likes you and says you can start doing regular shows here. So, I mean, when you're starting in comedy, you have to do like open mics, which paid to do to get stage time.
Right.
Or you produce your own shows. You might do your friends' shows. But so to get passed means you're like a house comic basically at the club.
Nice. And where did that happen? That we were celebrating?
That's at the comic strip.
The comic strip.
Upper East Side, yes.
Well done, Peter.
Thank you.
Well done, Peter.
No, but I mean, it took like 7 years to kind of get to that level.
Right.
So it's a long time.
So I don't think people realize how long it takes. Like, we talk about how long it takes to get traction in comedy, but I still don't feel like it's actually acknowledged how long that takes.
Yeah.
I mean, not you, Liam, because you got all the hookups.
What the hell?
The rest of us had to scrape. No, I'm just kidding.
All right, voice inside my head, enough. It's a David Tell joke. You know that joke?
I do now.
Great David Tell joke where he's like, people always tell me, Dave, you always say gay so much, you must be gay. Dave, you must be gay. And it's like, all right, voice inside my head, enough.
So it takes quite some time to get there.
Yeah. I've definitely been lucky, so I don't want to sound like I'm complaining.
I think it's different for everybody.
Right.
And you kind of have to, I mean, there are styles of comedy where you can have a style and be like 25 and it doesn't fit a 25-year-old. Like people who kind of are like cynical. Audiences see a cynical 25-year-old and they're like, why are you so cynical?
Yeah.
People like you. But that plays really well when you're 50 because, you have experience. So, I mean, sometimes it just takes people a while to find their stride.
Find their
Mark
groove,
Maron.
Yes.
Mark Maron, he was still like a professional comic for a really long time, but he didn't really make any traction until he was, like 40?
Yeah.
Started a podcast, but like he's very cynical and dark. And I can imagine, if you're like 30, 25, and it's like, oh, shut up. But
Right.
like when he's like the old man, he's like dark, like it fits him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's a really good point. And it just goes back again, not to sound repetitive, but it goes back again to the type of people comics are to still keep going, right? Like, I'm sure there's so many people that start and just don't, definitely should have, definitely should have, but so many people that don't follow it through because it's too hard. or because it takes so long, and because I mean, well, obviously those people don't have the love for it that maybe they should.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because if you do, you just keep going, right?
But also, it's definitely a delusion. Like,
yeah.
like you need a certain amount of delusion, like we were saying, to even
Right.
do it in the first place. But to stick through it, like it's most normal human beings would quit after a certain amount of time. But it's like so many people would be seen as someone who should have quit, and then they stick it out, and then they're like the biggest comic ever. It's like it's crazy.
Have you ever almost quit?
I don't think so, but I mean, it's still time. You know?
Never hurts to quit.
We'll touch base after tonight's show.
Yeah. Remember last night? I definitely, don't get me wrong, I definitely often have the thought of like, what am I doing with my life?
Yeah.
I remember one time I was walking with you and our other friend, Neil Kogali. Check him out. He died 3 years ago. No, but no, we were walking after like an open mic, and I just go, what are we doing with our lives? And I'm just like looking at the sky, and Peter goes, well, I'm a very successful actuary. I have a decent job. And Neil goes, I'm an engineer. I'm doing pretty well. I was like, okay, sorry. What am I doing with my lives? And I'm never hanging out with you guys again.
Well, you are a successful actor now.
Sorry. Can we get a PA over here?
For those of you who are watching this and thinking, man, I know him from somewhere, but I can't quite pinpoint it, it's because Liam was in the new rendition of Mean Girls.
Do you have a painting of a giraffe? I could jog their memory
I
a little bit.
I have an elephant. We can do elephant.
We'll make it work.
Yeah.
Oh, I could have used that when I mentioned Neil Kogali. Okay.
He's
yes, I was
pretty good in it. I rented it on Amazon Prime.
Did you?
Yeah, it wasn't the best use of $5 ever. But it was. I mean, your parts were good.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
I was a method actor.
Yeah.
I worked hard on those paintings.
Right. So to elaborate, there is a party scene, right? That's what it is, like a house party scene. And you can find my guy Liam making out with the painting of a giraffe.
Yeah. So that day I was working on set. I was outside just like drinking coffee or something. And I hear a PA go, yeah, I got the person for that. Liam, are you comfortable making out with a painting of a giraffe? I was like, why was I the first person you thought of for this? And yes, of course.
Absolutely.
I've been waiting all my life for this moment.
That sketch you did when you were walking up to people like in the movie theater and everything about Mean Girls, that was freaking hilarious.
Thank you. That was a lot of fun.
That was so funny.
Yeah, so I went to, by the way, the movie had been out for like 3 months.
A little late on the promotion, Liam.
I found like the last playing of the movie, and I went to this movie theater on the Upper West Side, and I brought like a Party City red carpet, and I put it on the ground. The wind kept flying it everywhere. And I put on a suit, and I just went up to her like, hey, I'm the guy from that. You want to take a picture? This is the premiere. Hey, you want to take a selfie? No? And so many people were like, get away from me. And then there was this one old guy who was like, he's like, oh, I'm here to see the Bob Marley movie. And I was like, no, don't see Bob Marley, see Mean Girls. And he's like, what's that? And he's like recording me as he's saying this. I'm like, he thinks he's meeting an actual celebrity right now.
Oh, man.
He's recording me. And then eventually we go into the movie theater and we see this old man by himself go in to see Mean Girls instead.
No.
Yes, it was amazing.
That might have been the last movie that man ever saw.
Yeah, because he never trusted anyone ever again.
Yeah, exactly. You know, he lived for like 20 more years. To talk to strangers in red carpets ever again.
I mean, hey, you got one.
I got one.
That's a win.
I should get some residuals for that.
I agree. I
Yeah.
agree. They should be putting you on the billboard
Yeah.
at that point.
They always say they want an actor who fills seats in the theaters, buys tickets. Well, I'm doing it from the ground up. Putting in the work.
When I told my daughter that you were in the movie making out with a giraffe, she was like so proud.
Thank you.
Right?
Thank you.
She was so proud. She
I
was
appreciate
like
it.
telling her friends, like, have you seen it? Because my boy's in it. My guy Liam, I know him.
I appreciate
Which
it.
one is he? He's making out with the giraffe. And granted, it's not the only scene that you could be found in, but it is
Don't be
your
ridiculous.
star role.
That's
That's a
really-
breakout.
That's where I stole the film for sure.
Oh, 100%.
You could also catch me in the bleachers during the pep rally filming. It's actually pretty. All my parts in this are pretty creepy, actually. So I'm making out with a painting of a giraffe at the party, and then at the pep rally, Regina George, Renee Rapp gets wet, and she like looks up and she looks really hot, and then I'm just recording her like this. So Maybe instead of high schooler number 75, I played creep number 1. So it was a
I'd say that
documentary.
yeah. Well, it beats aggressive woman number 1.
Yo, you killed that.
I'll be doing things.
You recognize her from aggressive woman number 1?
Wait, that was the name of the movie?
No. I don't even think I was in the clip.
No, she wasn't even.
He made a clip promoting something. I don't even remember what it was at this point.
Cocoa Cream every Tuesday at the Stand, 9 p.m.
Oh, we were going to get
that's
there,
what
but
the
yeah.
clip is for.
It's a good show.
Yes.
They only
We'll
book the
plug
finest
that in a
comics.
minute.
I've been on it.
Say again?
I said they only book the finest comics. I've been on it.
That's right.
Wait, one more
Killed
time?
it too.
Which also, low key, I don't know if you realize this, but you set me up on that like 3 weeks ago.
So I
we were
just
just
found
talking
out
about
about
that
that last night.
Yeah.
I just found out, and okay, nobody told me.
I know. Well,
I am supposed to be helping with this show. Nobody told me. I'm your comics entertainment when you're up on stage, right? This Cocoa Cream comedy show at the Stand every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. So worth going. What makes this show so dope is that it's hosted by Liam and also this guy we know, Cypher Sounds. I don't know. He's we're trying to help him out. No, so Cypher and Liam host the show, and they do this thing where after each comic is done with their set, they'll be on stage with them and banter and crowd work and stuff like that. Peter was on the show, and I was just letting him know, like, hey, here's what they do after you're done with your set, because I didn't want him to feel silly just getting off the stage. So I told him, like, hey, they do banter afterwards, whatever. Liam failed to communicate with me that night that it was a time crunch.
There was to be no banter.
There wasn't going to be any banter, that they were just going from set to set. So unfortunately, Liam set up Peter to, I guess there was an awkward moment.
Well, so I ended my set, and then you, like, normally the host would come off and you would shake hands and walk out, but he came on and I didn't get off, and I had this look on my face like, like, is it going to happen? Like, I look like...
That breaks my heart.
He's like Leonardo DiCaprio. He's like, I'm not fucking leaving.
Well, and I think there were people in the audience who were just like, is he just not going to get off the stage? Like,
right.
There was definitely somebody who thought, like, the comics would just continue to accumulate as the show went on, and we'd all just be standing there like, well, I'm doing a show from up here. Best place in the house, baby.
Like, you're hanging out with a DJ, like, oh, we're going to stay up on stage and just, create a little click up here.
Yes.
Also,
I got to find that footage.
It's
I got to see this awkward moment you guys speak of.
No offense to Peter. He's a great comic. I'm a big fan of his. Great guy.
Great guy.
But this couldn't have happened to a better person, because a lot of comics would just be like, oh, all right, oh, yeah, see you later. But Peter, part of what makes him so great is how he is in those situations where he just goes, am I staying? Or am I? And then I, for a second, leaned into how awkward it was and was just like, stared at him for a second.
You're the worst, I swear.
And we had like probably 30 seconds of just like, and I was just like, and then he goes, I thought I'm staying. And I was like, yeah, you could stay. And then we had like a minute of banter, and then that was it.
Like, in Liam's defense too, like, I will filibuster a comedy show. Like, I just won't leave. I'll ruin the whole thing if I don't do well, no one else gets it.
Yeah.
Ever. No.
Yeah, he treats like comedy shows like his breakups. Like, he won't leave.
Oh, you didn't? No.
Yeah. I don't care how many restraining orders there are. I'm not leaving. That's how he treats.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to admire the persistence. You know what I mean?
Winners never quit.
Right?
Remember that, kid.
That's true.
There is a fine line.
I'm going to punch you. With love, respectfully. Go on.
And she says I give her this like crazy accusation
I
of being
can't
aggressive.
imagine why you call me aggressive, Liam. Go on, you were saying?
Even when she's like, I'm not aggressive, she's threatening me. You say I'm aggressive?
Because I know you like it.
We'll be right back.
Wow, this is...
Go on. You were saying?
This episode is brought to you by Blue Chew. No. I tried to get Peter to buy the tiger pills at the gas station.
And?
He didn't budge.
No.
Really? It would have been an interesting night.
Yeah, it would have been real fun. We were talking about this in the car. Like, half of them doctors are like, do not put that in your body. Like, it's first of all, it's not going to do what it says it's going to do, but you'll just die. Like,
straight heart attack.
Yeah, exactly.
So were you just looking for a good time, Liam? Or
I'm always looking for a good time.
Okay. This is what he does. He puts you in his car. He drives you to this unknown place called Orange County, and then tells you, "Hey, why don't you take those pills in the gas station?"
Yeah,
should be great.
I actually thought Orange County was in California, and then we were here in upstate New York,
there's both.
eating tiger pills.
Eating tiger pills at Stewart Airport.
Stewart Airport, yeah.
It was a shorter drive than you thought it was going to be then, huh? From here rather than Orange County, California.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that. I'm not an intelligent man.
I doubt that.
Well, thank you.
I love Peter so much, and I hope he doesn't hate me, but I also love fucking with him. Like, when I told you to meet me at that diner, I almost said, you could wait in there, don't worry, just tell them you know me. Just so, because I was picturing Peter going in and going like, how's it going? Liam Dalton. And they're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
It's so good because you don't even benefit from it.
I never. So 2 weeks ago, we were hanging out. We were just like at a bar, and then we're about to leave, and we're in front of this bodega, and I see these girls running near, and I'm just about to leave. I'm like, all right, see you guys later. And then these girls are running, and I go, actually, I think I'll hang here for a little while. And so the girls are coming this way, and I go, ladies, I don't want to brag, but anything you want from the bodega, it's on him. And she goes, really? And I'm like, yep.
My God.
And then they go into the bodega. They're grabbing everything they can find.
No.
Oreos, chips. She brought like a jug of milk. I was like, you're getting milk? And she was funny. She was like, it's for my baby. She didn't have a baby. So she had milk. And I was like, you can't get milk. Get oat milk. It's so much better for you. And they racked up like $50.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm expecting Peter to be like, I'm not paying for this, right? So I was willing to put my credit card down if it was for this joke. Peter was like, all right, I guess.
I will spend my way out of an awkward situation. I didn't even think about it. I was just like, I have $44 for this to end. Perfect. Amazing. That sounds like a bargain, of course. And then I know this is hard to believe, very out of character, but I had been drinking. So the next day, I look at my credit card, I'm like, $44 for a bodega? What did I buy at a bodega?
You bought groceries for a month for these two women. It was me, him, and another guy. And I'm not expecting like, once we buy stuff at the deli for these girls, it's over. I'm just like, I'm going to create this chaos and then go home. So then we're talking.
Pretty on brand for you, Leo.
We're talking to them after, and like, they're pretty cool, whatever. And I'm like, maybe we'll end up hanging out with these girls. And one of them, listen, I'm not a misogynist. I'm not into misogyny.
You're an ally.
Yeah, no. Why would I want a massage on my knees? Hey-oh! Okay, no,
that's all the time we have.
We'll be right back. So, I don't mean this in a mean way, but one of them was getting more attention than the other.
Okay.
For whatever reason. Who could guess why? But
what are you talking about? I was talking to the other one.
So one was getting attention where no one wants attention. But
who doesn't want attention at 2:30 in the morning outside of a bodega where a strange man just bought you a week's worth of groceries? What are you talking about? They write books about moments like this.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. And Law and Order episodes. So anyway, one of them like breaks the conversation that's flowing and goes, you know what? I'll pay you back right now for all of this if any of you can tell me my name. And because she wasn't getting enough attention as like Kathy or whatever. Right. Her name wasn't Kathy. But so we're just like,
we never found it.
We didn't know any of their names.
Bunch of winners.
No, it's like we're just
right.
Yeah, we didn't know any of their names.
It was a surprisingly fast like we can't have been talking to them for more than like 5 minutes.
Yeah, we're just having fun, making jokes.
Wow, a lot happened in those 5 minutes.
Yes, it did.
Sweet.
So then we go, we didn't even have 2 seconds of and she goes, come on, Kathy, let's get out of here. And Kathy's kind of like, and then they just stormed off, and I was like, all right, well, there's that. And I just see a defeated Peter Stewart. It's like, and then the song "Arms of the Angel" started playing.
Yes.
And he's like, I just spent $60 at a bodega for Oreos for two, one very good looking and one other girl. And for now what? And I'm like, all right, well, I didn't expect anything to happen from that.
Just wanted to spend your money. What my favorite part about this?
As I said, I spent the money so it would be over.
Yeah. No, Peter. I know that I kind of made it sound like you were a predator. No, it's not that. It was a fun night.
All for the bit. My favorite part about this story is how the amount kept increasing every time you said how much was spent. I think we started at like 40. We somehow made it to like $60. So we're just gonna call it an even 100 that he just dropped in a bodega.
Peter
just to get
spent
out
$10,000
of
at that.
I actually own the bodega.
anything to get out of an awkward
It was
situation.
the other thing that was really funny was like I was starving and I was in a bodega spending lots of money and I was just like, I'm so hungry. And the guy was like, do you want a sandwich? And I was just like, I'm so hungry. He must have thought I was homeless or something, but then I spent $60 on oat milk and he's like, who is this guy?
Well, I was eating a sandwich. I bought a sandwich while we were in here. I was like, why don't you just get a sandwich? And you're like, no, it's fine. You're like stewing over this $60 bodega trip. And I'm eating a sandwich outside as they leave. And you're so defeated. And you're like, that sandwich looks so good, man. And you already are probably hating me for making you buy these girls groceries. And then I'm just eating a sandwich right in front of you. I'm like, go buy a sandwich. And you're like, I can't do it. I can't do it.
Yeah, true story. Went to 7th Street Burger, took it home, fell asleep on my hamburger, and woke up the next day. So you thought
Fell
this was
asleep
the low
on
point.
your
I mean,
hamburger?
it wasn't even. We can go lower. All right, we can always go lower.
So Liam, I say this all the time, probably to your face. If not, now you know. I don't know how you have friends still.
What the hell? You don't say this to my face ever. You've been
Really?
telling people this?
I could have sworn that I was letting you know, like, hey, I don't know how you still have friends because you put them in awkward situations like this and love it.
When else have I done it?
I just feel like there's always stories.
L Squad forever.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. I just feel like there's always these stories about bits that go well for you,
Wait,
but not too well for everybody
what
else.
else? What else have I done?
I don't know. I'm trying to think of it, but I'm sure you've done something to.
Make me
I don't
sound
want to
like a
drop
villain.
names right now.
Drop names. We'll edit it out.
I'm sure you've done something to Lucas once or twice.
Oh,
Yeah.
Who hasn't?
I think you guys are talking about
Yeah,
two different Lucases.
but both
true.
apply.
All right. Yeah. I might be a piece of shit.
No. You're just committed to the bit, as we always say. But also, on that, though, there is something about you that attracts really crazy situations.
That might be true.
I don't understand why that's always happening. What do you think it is about you that you're constantly in these pickles without elaborating too much?
All right. Should we tell the jail girl story?
Let's tell the jail girl story.
see.
I was hoping you would set up one of those things. Go on.
Did I tell you about the jail girl story?
I don't think so.
All right. So, I have to block her now if I tell this story.
Okay, so let's tell the jail girl story before we wrap this up.
All right. I mean, she'll probably not watch this, and if she
Thanks.
does,
Appreciate it.
no.
I
I
was
mean,
hoping I was reaching everyone, but it's fine.
there's not great Wi-Fi in Attica.
Attica.
Yeah.
Oh, is that where we're at right now? Is that what we're saying?
No, I'm saying she's in prison. Attica's a.
Oh.
It's fine. We'll add a laugh track after.
Go on.
I love just as I'm supposed to talk, I take a very prolonged sip and then slam the can. This is great audio for a podcast.
At least you're not like Jay and you drink loud as hell. I'm always yelling at him for that. He's a very loud
There's
drinker.
a lot of tension between you and Jay, and he's not here. I'm starting to think you guys are breaking up.
No. I mean,
Are they breaking up?
tension is our favorite thing. That's why we're entertaining.
I feel that.
You know what I mean?
Do you feel like it was something about your childhood that makes you enjoy the tension?
I love that.
This is
Go
my
on.
podcast now.
Go ahead. Jail.
All right,
I almost
so-
said jailbird story. That's weird. Go on.
Is this okay?
Yes.
Which camera do I look in for the jail girl story?
Straight.
So the jail girl story. No, I was getting DMs from this girl who had heard my stuff on the radio, not to brag, but I'm up with new technology. And she wanted to come to a show, and I was like, yeah, for sure, come to the show. And then she never came. And then like 2 weeks later, I got a voice note from her saying, hey, I can't play the voice note. I played it on stage though. But it said, hey, so sorry for literally ghosting you. Got locked up for a couple days. I was in the county jail in Jersey, but I have court tomorrow. That's all good. What's the deal with the show on Monday? And I was like, this is the greatest voice note I've ever received in my life. And I just replied like, this is amazing. I love you. Will you marry me? And I was like, oh, this show, da da da. Here's the info. Are you okay? And she was like, yeah, it was just simple assault on an officer, obstruction of justice, public. What's the thing that you do? Intoxication. And then and then she ends all that with, and do you have comps? I was like,
and do you have comps?
I love this woman so much.
It's just, it feels like you are just constantly attracting, I don't want to say crazy.
No, you could say it's true.
You are constantly attracting crazy, and you're constantly put in these weird ass situations.
It's true. And
every time you tell me the story, I'm like, if I didn't know this guy, I would think that this is made up, but it's legit real every single time.
It's true, and I feel like you don't even know half of it.
Probably not. Probably
true.
not. Also, fill me in later because I want to know all of it.
We should do a whole second episode where we just go down the list.
Oh, that would be fantastic. Jot it down. Jot it down so we can do that.
Yeah.
So what do you guys have coming up? We have Cocoa Cream every Tuesday night at the Stand, 9 p.m.
Hit me up if you want comps and you've been to jail.
Yeah.
Maybe that's actually pretty progressive of me that I had this jail girl come.
I mean, it's your type.
What are you doing for prison reform?
You could have like posters at the prison, like, "Are you getting out, Cocoa Cream?"
I have a connection actually in a couple of these prisons, so we can make that happen. We can have that done.
Love after lockup type of situation.
Hey now.
To do to people in prison. It's like a board with like yard sales. Hey, here's all the stuff you're missing.
You're missing out on.
Sorry. Oh,
that's hilarious. Or like you go to visit someone and they're like, "Oh my God, someone wants to talk to me. Maybe they're gonna fight for my freedom." Like, just want to promote my show real quick.
Yeah.
Every Tuesday.
I don't know when was the last time you laughed, but it's pretty funny out there.
That orange is pretty funny.
Anything else you guys want to throw out there that you have coming up?
Cocoa Cream every Tuesday.
Yeah, I think we touched on that.
Tonight, is this
isn't
live?
Airing. No, it's not airing.
Tonight, me and Peter are doing a show in New Paltz. Yeah, it should be fun. Yeah. We're gonna have a good time.
It'll be great.
Yeah. What do you want to?
I run Comfy Comedy if you're ever in New York City. You've been on many a Comfy Comedy show.
Comfy Comedy?
Comfy Comedy.
Okay. Where's that at? Or is it like a moving thing?
It's kind of a moving thing, but we're mostly at the
comic
strip, and we've also been at a bar called the Harry Lemon. So.
Harry Lemon.
She's been at the Harry Lemon when we did the show.
Yeah, well, actually,
yeah.
We put lots of shows there.
Oh, and I do Coming to America comedy at QED, second Friday of every month.
Yes.
With Jamel Sirleaf.
So follow them both on Instagram and TikTok or wherever else you keep up with anything these days. Yeah.
And the White Boy Wrap Up on 94.7 The Block every Monday and Friday. And
He went from
L Squad forever.
He went from Rusty Gray to White Boy Wrap Up. Is it a glow up?
It is interesting how once I stopped rapping, I then started meeting all the people that I would have loved to meet while I was rapping.
I do find that hilarious.
It's crazy. It's insane.
You really could have gone places, but
I think it's the opposite.
Comedy's fine.
I think it's almost like a sign, like, oh yeah, you made the right choice.
Yeah, absolutely. Social media, where can they find you guys?
At Liam Dalton Live on everything.
Okay.
At Stew Comedy and at Comfy Comedy NYC.
Okay, check them out. Thank you guys so much for being on.
Thank you.
I'm so happy.
Thank you. I'd love to come back.
I love you. Thank you so much for coming on. I love you too.
Okay, I was waiting for it.
Oh yeah, come on. I have so much to give.
He'll buy you whatever you want from a bodega.
Well, you had me sold the second you started that.
It's gonna happen again.
Listen, this bitch could blow up a bodega real quick. Okay, I could use it.
Hey,
okay,
don't say that. People think you're Middle Eastern. Okay.
All right. The way we usually wrap this up, guys, is we count to 3 and then say peace. Okay.
I think I could do that.
Up or down?
What the hell, man? Just
1, 2, 3, and then peace. Okay.
Oh, I thought we were gonna.
Oh, that was just a test.
That was. I just wanted everybody to be prepared. I don't want to set them up for failure again. Not that you.
Yeah,
failed.
that sounds like something you would do. Set me up
on
failure.
Yeah, no, she's stealing my
show tonight, right? Hey, how's it going?
It's gonna be great. Okay, you ready?
Wait, so 1, 2, 3, and then peace, or
Yes.
1, 2, 3.
This
go,
is like rock,
peace.
paper, scissors all over.
Is
again.
it?
Right.
Peace, like PAACE.
You do not have time for this, bro. We gotta go to this show.
I'm self-destructive for sure.
I love it. Okay, ready? 1, 2,
2, 3.
3. Peace.